This manhwa, our protagonist's name is Argrick. His talent was forged on the battlefield, but before he could fully develop it, he died. However, when he opened his eyes again, he realized he had been reborn as Dane Sogras, the youngest son of a prestigious count. The talent he now possessed was not limited to just one field. A talent in spearmanship, assassination, magic, summoning, and even swordsmanship, which he had not been able to develop fully before. Now, he can finally nurture his endless talent in the embrace of the happy family he had always longed for. Aiden Albareo, the Dragon Slayer King, was a hero who saved the world by eliminating the Berserker and the Underlord. However, he was betrayed by those who whispered friendship to him and met his death. After that, he reincarnates. He was surprised by reincarnating like this. 15 years before the Underlord's resurrection, Aiden Albareo reincarnated into the body of the eldest son of an unheard-of duke's family, Aden Ramez. But the problem was not only Aiden reincarnated alone. The Underlord he thought he had defeated was inside his soul. Will Aiden be able to end his uncomfortable cohabitation with the Underlord and prevent his resurrection? At the young age of 20, Seol Mudok, a master swordsman, became the lord of the Northern Sea Ice Palace. But soon he plunged into despair after the death of his lover. One day he discovers that with the legendary flower, the Lotus of Love, that his deceased lover has been reincarnated in another world. In his quest, he descends into another world in search of his wife. A new world, a whole new place with new problems. And thus the real journey begins. Demon King Zeke Moore was in the verge of death. The hero tried to kill the Demon King of Power, Zeke. But Demon King twisted his fate with his power while the Demon King met his demise. When he opened his eyes again, he found himself back as Zeke Steelwill before he became the Demon King. He had no desire to become the successor or the Demon King in this life. Then what? Yeah, maybe I'll do good like that hero said. But how do you do that? It was the first thought strike his head after coming back to the past. The former Demon King of Power was unfamiliar with the concept of kindness. Now he wants to become someone who does good in this life. Logan McLean, a middle-aged knight fighting for the Independence Army. He is intent on getting revenge against the Empire, which took over the kingdom and executed his brother. But he failed and ends up dying in battle. But when he wakes up, he discovers he is a young man again and has yet to be disowned for his terrible behavior. Using his experience and knowledge from his past life, Logan recruits a few talented individuals to develop new weapons, build an army, and make enough money to fund it all. But will he be able to make amends with his family and stop the Empire's march? Jung Yonshin was born with a short fate, being unable to live past the age of 20. Although everyone in his family looked down on him, his skills were remarkable enough for him to create his own martial arts. One day, Yonshin realized that he doesn't have much time left to live. This is where Jung Yonshin, a terminally ill genius, begins his desperate struggle to survive. In a brutal, lawless, medieval world where war and poverty reign, and twisted magic defies all reason, he lost his companion in war. Now, he only remembers her when there is rain. The captain of the guards grinds through another grueling day, pushing his battered body to the limit in a land where survival itself is a merciless test. Is dying repeatedly a blessing? Encred's lifelong dream of becoming a knight looked to be forever out of reach, until one day he died and woke up at the beginning of that same day. Now that he has unlimited chances to train and engage in mortal combat, just how far can he go? Yu Ji-han, you're useless. With those harsh words, Yu Ji-han, a dedicated member of the prestigious guild Keros and the elite Kim Hyun-tae party, is abruptly expelled. After 7 years of service, he's left with a meager severance pay of 10 million won. But Yu Ji-han possesses a unique ability, sampling, which allows him to see probabilities. So he team up with Fun Guild. Probability of the very fun guild growing into a large guild, 99%. Now he wants to surpass them all to get his revenge. Sian Vert, illegitimate son of the Duke and the Empire's greatest assassin, is betrayed by the righteous brother whose shadow he's always lived in. But just before the fatal blow strikes his throat, Sian awakes to find he's just a boy again. The young lord has been reborn, and this time he's not going to live in anyone's shadow. Kang Jeon-ma, who was once called the best swordsman in the nation, have ended up in a mobile game. He had only spent money on a few times, and even received the blessing of the sword god. But the only weapon he can use is a sashimi knife, just 1 minute a day. Thus he become a sword saint with a sashimi knife. A character with extreme difficulty and the worst performance, Baek Yu-seol was considered trash in the game because he couldn't use magic in a fantasy world where everyone else could. However, due to the wrong ending, 90% of Aetherworld has been destroyed. Now the user who completed the game has to reach the true ending. Suddenly those words echoed in his mind before he was transmigrated to the Aetherworld. Flash was the only magic skill he was given. Surviving in Stella Academy, where many genius mages ran rampant, he became the notorious Flash Mage. Back in the Age of Despair, Kyle defeated Erebos, the genesis of evil. Then 5,000 years later, he reincarnated as Leo with the memories of his past life intact. His comrades, the brave Aaron, the divine blacksmith Dueno, the poet of the stars Luna, and the wise king Lycinas were all heralded as great heroes. But the hero record, a gift from the heavens that records the achievements of heroes through the ages, had no record of Kyle whatsoever, and the people of the present treat him like a fictional character. Angry about the reality he's found himself in, Leo enrolls at Lumine Academy, the hero academy which houses the hero record. Now he will become an honors student to figure out why he was written out of history. Ansuho was the sword god. Surprisingly, humanity's greatest swordsman player was a civil servant hunter affiliated with the Korean Hunter Association. Suho chose the path of a public servant purely to end the gates. Perhaps that's why when one of the disaster-level gates, called the Final Gate, was attacked, in an ironic turn of events, he was betrayed by his comrades. It would have been better if he had joined them from the beginning. Then he would have survived. The reason his comrades betrayed him, because if the gates were closed, their influence would disappear. Just as Suho's consciousness was fading away, the system reboots of player Suho, and the system gave Suho one more chance, a chance to go back to the past and set everything right. The power of Valhalla's warriors is called Saga. It is the mighty magical power born from their achievements and deeds in their former lives. Thus, the more stories and legends of these warriors spread and linger in the hearts of many, the stronger their saga becomes. Taeho himself was certainly no warrior. However, he was the world's top professional gamer. In the game world of Dark Age, his character, Dragon Knight Kalstead, could rightly be called a legend in his own right. His achievements, his story. All the accomplishments that the Dragon Knight Kalstead had accumulated in the game. Saga, Immortal Warrior. The story of the Immortal Warrior, Lee Tae-ho, unfolds on the battlefield of the gods, Valhalla. To put an end to Ragnarok, which threatens the world's very existence, a new saga begins at this very moment. Ghislaine Perdium, the mercenary king and one of the continent's top 7, started a great war in an attempt to avenge his fallen family. His plans of revenge were going smoothly until he was slain by Idun, who he had never expected to make an appearance. Ghislaine thought he died, but he woke up as a younger version of himself from before the fall of his household. With this second chance, he decided to fix all the wrong pieces of the puzzle and avoid making the same mistakes he did in his past life. The Great Northern Wall, the Dragon Knights. These are the various titles of the Grand Ducal clan Ragnar, which boasted a rich 1,000-year history, all because of a special constitution. They have inherited dragon blood, but except for one person, Theo Ragnar. His own master betrayed him and killed his mother by joining someone suspicious. They killed Theo, but he discovers himself back in the past. Now he wants to pay them all who treated him like garbage and grow stronger using the system guidance. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you liked the recommendations. If you want Manhwa recommendations, then join my Telegram channel or follow me on Instagram. That's it for today. Which recommendations should I do next? Please comment and tell me.